The other day I was standing looking at my fragrance shelf and I realized there are some fragrances you just cannot help but like. Many of these have a ton of clones and some of them have even started entire lines due to their incredible scent profile. So I started pulling some of them off the shelf and I ended up with this fantastic list of fragrances you just can't help but like. There are quite a few fragrances to go through. I don't want to spend too much time on each one. This is going to be more of a reference point for some of the greatest fragrances you can't help but like. We will start with Givenchy Gentleman. Like I said, the original was launched long before the year 2000, 1974. It doesn't really have much in common with the current Gentleman Givenchy line other than the name. It's very, very old school. Still a good scent, but definitely a little bit old school. The name Gentleman itself didn't resurface for Givenchy until 2013 with the Gentleman Only line, which had fragrances like Absolute, this one right here, Fresh, Intense, Parisian Break, stuff like that. It wasn't until Givenchy dropped the Only and went with Gentleman Givenchy by itself. They had hit after hit. The new Gentleman Givenchy launched in 2017, starting a gorgeous line of classy fragrances with a beautiful note of iris. This approach, created by Olivier Cresp and Nathalie Larson, had one hit after another. 2017 you had Gentleman Givenchy. 2018 you had Eau de Parfum. 2019 you had the Cologne. 2020 you had the Parfum Boisé. One of the best, by the way. Love that one. 2021 the Eau de Toilette Intense. And 2022 you had Reserve Privé. Another fantastic fragrance. Then in 2023 the Gentleman Society came out. Society is once again a pivot in the Gentleman Givenchy line, since it has no more iris and the perfumers have also changed. Perhaps it was time for a change. Guess we will see in the future if it was a right move. As for the Gentleman Givenchy line up to the change in 2023, you really can't help but like these. Another line you can't help but like is the Bulgari Man line. With the first one appearing in 2010, it is going to be a beautiful ozonic fragrance with woody undertones, created by Alberto Morillas. There are quite a few in this line and it would be very, very difficult not to like these, starting with the first one, which is also available in an extreme version. And one of my favorites of the line is going to be Bulgari Man in Black, a spicy one, which is also available in a cologne version, although the cologne version is going to be much, much harder to find. All of them are very hard not to like, all the way up through the 2023 Rain Essence, which is a musky floral with some Gaiac wood. I do have quite a few fragrances here, and if I don't mention yours, that does not mean I don't like it. If you want to, you can leave your favorites that you just can't live without, the ones you just can't help but like. You can leave them in the comments and let me know what they are. I'd love to know what they are. But let's continue and I'll throw in a niche fragrance. I have a few I'd like to mention. We'll scatter them sort of throughout for a bit of diversity. A beautiful niche fragrance is Reflection Man by Amouage. It would be hard not to like this one. It is created by Lukas Zuzak in 2006. It is a woody floral with a bit of musk. Reflection Man is sort of an anytime, soft, timeless fragrance with really good projection and longevity. Amongst the best from the brand. Such a wonderful fragrance. The new Gucci Guilty Elixir from 2023 has been compared to this fantastic fragrance from Amouage. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side comparison. Let me know if that's something you would be interested in, comparing this one with the new Gucci Guilty Elixir from 2023. Let me know. But for now, let's head back to the designers. One of the best lines I can't help but like from the Guerlain lineup of fragrances is the L'Homme Ideal line. The first one came out in 2014 and it is a beautiful almond vanilla fragrance with some bitter orange and rosemary. Through the years, these have become lighter, as in the cologne, or denser, as in the eau de parfum, and even a little bit spicy, as in the extreme version from 2020. It doesn't matter which one of these amazing fragrances you get your hands on. If you like the note of almond, then you really can't help but like these. Absolutely fabulous. I do have another fragrance that falls into the category of gourmand that you can't help but like, and it is Valentino's Uomo. Think nutty chocolate, kind of like Nutella and hazelnut, surrounded by coffee and chocolate with a light breeze of leather and cedar. There's also an aqua version of this one. There's a little bit of an orange citrus with the introduction of iris in this one, which is the main player in the intense version, the black one. Is going to have the main player of iris. This one is actually much closer to the original Dior Homme collection, if you know that one. But all these three are absolutely stunning, and it is very, very hard not to like them. Of course, since I just mentioned the Dior Homme original, you have to give them a quick mention. Whether you get the original right here, or you get the Eau de Parfum, or you get the Parfum, all three are exquisite fragrances and super hard not to like. You gotta like the note of iris. Absolutely stunning fragrances. Now these are not the new ones. These are of course the original formulation with the iris in it. The next designer is going to be Versace. Also has a few that fall into the category of, very hard not to like. Like Versace Man and Man Eau Fraiche. Eau Fraiche is a bright citrus freshie with star fruit as its main player. It's a gorgeous fragrance you can wear in the summertime and absolutely stunning. Very, very hard not to like this one. It's a great one for warmer days. Versace Man, on the other hand, this is the Eau Fraiche. Versace Man, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit harder to find. It's the purple one. And will remind you of Versace's Pour Homme, which is this one right here, Oud Noir. Also a beautiful fragrance. This one is a little bit darker than Versace Man. The similarities are definitely there. Oud Noir does have agar wood, while Versace Man does not. Now, of course, I do realize that these are from different lines. The Oud Noir being from the Pour Homme line, and this is from the Man line. I was just drawing the comparison between those two. But if you do want a couple of fragrances that are hard not to like from the Pour Homme line, then you could go with the original. It's a blue one, very nice for the summertime. Or you could go with a little bit of darker fragrance, the Dylan Blue, also worth checking out. And you can usually find those two at a really good price. It is time to do a niche. We'll continue on the note of oud. In Oud for Greatness by Initio, it is a fantastic, perfectly blended oud with nutmeg, lavender, patchouli, and musk. Stellar performer, huge sillage, warm, spicy patchouli and agar wood. As far as oud goes, this one is really, really hard not to like. Such a good fragrance. My next one is also going to be a niche, and it is also going to be an oud. And yes, my next one is also going to be an oud. And yes, I'm going to do a double oud whopper on you. But stay tuned, it's going to be Royal Oud by Creed. You cannot help but like this fantastic fragrance. It is much, much lighter than Oud for Greatness, a little bit more on the peppery side. The citrus, galbanum, and angelica keep this one super elegant. Royal Oud is not nearly as strong and powerful as the Initio Oud fragrance, but it is a whole class by itself. Think tuxedo, noble, gentleman, Royal Oud from Creed. I mean, you just can't help but like this beautiful fragrance. All right, back to the designers. One you definitely can't help but like is the entire line of Yves Saint Laurent fragrances from the Lum line. Really, it is that simple. You can start with the original one, Lum, from 2006, this one right here. And you can work your way all the way up to the latest one, 2022, the Eau de Parfum from the Lum line. Absolutely stellar. And yes, I am including in these the La Nuit de Lum, which is this line right here. Altogether, there are over 20 flankers that have been produced from Lum, and every single one of them is absolutely gorgeous. Arguably, this is one of the best lines ever created with a similar scent profile for all the flankers. It is so good. You truly can't help but like any of these. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Lum line. Do you agree that this is one of the best lines ever created with so many flankers and people are still wearing it? Let me know in the comments. Another one that is on his heels of La Nuit de Lum is Paco Rabanne, the 1 million line. Last time I looked, there were over 12 flankers or so in this line. The first one is from 2008, and the latest one is from 2023, Golden Oud. Now I get it, some of you are completely over this fragrance. You know, you've had enough of it. I get it. You know, you're over this kitschy, sort of sweet, youthful design, but you can't deny the fact that this scent profile absolutely works. You also can't help but like it. Otherwise, these would completely disappear and they wouldn't keep coming up with more and more and more of them. I dare you to go out and smell the original. Now, you might not want to wear the original anymore. You think it's overdone, but I promise you, when you smell it again, you can't help but like it. Let's piggyback from the last controversy to Dior Sauvage. Just like the 1 million, a lot of people are over it, but the numbers speak for themselves. Sauvage is a stellar fragrance by Dior, no matter if you get the EDP, the EDT, or the Parfum, or the new Elixir. All of them will still get you compliments. And they're really hard not to like. It's that good. So will my next choice from Chanel. Bleu de Chanel is another one of those. A lot of people are going to be over it. But once again, it doesn't matter whether you get the EDT, the EDP, or the Parfum. This is a very, very popular fragrance for a long time. And for some of you, they probably had their heyday. But just for fun, go out and smell them again. And you will be reminded that you really can't help but like these stellar fragrances. I do have one that we all can agree on, I'm pretty sure. It is a timeless fragrance. It's a piece of fragrance art, if you ask me. It's simple and complex. It's just perfect. It's a true masterpiece, in my opinion. It's going to be Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille from 2007. Whoops, where are we? There we are. From 2007. It's a tobacco, sweet vanilla, cacao, and some dried fruit with warm, gentle spices. It is impossible not to like this one, period. Of course, since we are at Tom Ford, there should also be a quick mention of the 2018 Ombre Leather. This is hard not to like this one. It's a beautiful fragrance. You know, you have cardamom leather, some jasmine combination. This one is a little bit polarizing and it's irresistible. It's a fantastic fragrance from Tom Ford, and you can't help but love or like this versatile fragrance from Tom Ford. Earlier we had Bulgari's Man in Black. The next one is all that, but maybe just a little bit spicier and a little bit rougher around the edges. It is Victor and Rolf's 2012 Spice Bomb. This one right here. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter whether you get Spice Bomb or Spice Bomb Extreme, as well as any of the infrareds. They are all hard not to like. It's just a matter of if you want some red fruit in there or not. I personally stay away from the Green Night Vision ones, but that's just me. Let me have it in the comments if you feel so inclined. There are also fragrances from lines like The One, Dolce & Gabbana, many of them, Prada L'Homme, many of them, and of course the Tour de Hermès fragrances. All are fantastic and you truly can't help but like them. In the world of fragrance, there are many, many fragrances, beautiful and amazing scents. You absolutely can't help but like these. This is one of the main reasons I enjoy this hobby so very much. So why don't you share some of your favorite fragrances in the comments? And maybe we'll do a part 2 to this. If that would be fun, Let me know in the comments. As for now, I do hope you had a good time. If so, don't forget to give it a like and maybe even subscribe for more fragrance content. Remember, our fragrance journey begins with but one single scent. Until next time, do take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon.